Nehemiah chapter 13. In that day they read in the book of Moshe in the audience of the people, and therein was found written that an Ammoni and a Moabi should not enter into the assembly of God forever, because they met not the children of Israel with bread and with water, but hired Balaam against them, to curse them. Howbeit our God turned the curse into a blessing. And it was, when they had heard the law, that they separated from Israel all the mixed multitude. Now before this, Eliashib the priest, who was appointed over the chambers of the house of our God, being allied to Tobiah, had prepared for him a great chamber, where aforetime they laid the grain offerings, the frankincense, and the vessels, and the tithes of the grain, the new wine, and the oil, which were given by command to the Levim, and the singers, and the porters, and the heave offerings for the priests. But in all this time I was not at Jerusalem, for in the 32nd year of Artahshasta, king of Babel, I went to the king, and after certain days asked I leave of the king, and I came to Jerusalem, and understood the evil that Eliashib had done for Tobiah in preparing him a chamber in the courts of the house of God. And it grieved me sore. Therefore I cast forth all the household stuff of Tobiah out of the chamber. Then I commanded, and they cleansed the chambers, and thither brought I again the vessels of the house of God, with the grain offerings and the frankincense. And I perceived that the portions of the Levim had not been given them, so that the Levim and the singers that did the work were fled every one to his field. Then contended I with the rulers and said, Why is the house of God forsaken? And I gathered them together and set them in their place. Then brought all Yehudah the tithe and the grain and the new wine and the oil to the treasuries. And I made treasurers over the treasuries, Shelemiah the priest, and Zadok the scribe, and of the Levim Pedaiah, and next to them was Hanan the son of Zakkur, the son of Mattaniah, for they were counted faithful, and their business was to distribute to their brothers. Remember me, O my God, concerning this, and wipe not out my good deeds that I have done for the house of my God, and for the observances thereof. In those days saw I in Yehudah some men treading winepresses on the Shabbat, and bringing in sheaves, and lading donkeys therewith, as also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Shabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Thor also therein, who brought in fish, and all manner of wares, and sold on the Shabbath to the children of Yehudah and in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Yehudah, and said to them, What evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Shabbath day? Did not your fathers thus? And did not our God bring all this evil upon us, and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Shabbath. And it was that, when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Shabbath, I commanded that the doors should be shut, and commanded that they should not be opened till after the Shabbath, and some of my servants set I over the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Shabbath day. So the merchants and sellers of all kind of wares lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them, and said to them, Why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth came they no more on the Shabbat. And I commanded the Leviim that they should purify themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Shabbat day. Remember to me, O my God, this also, and spare me, according to the greatness of thy loving kindness. In those days also Sorai, the Jews, the Yehudim that had married women of Ashdod and Ammon and of Moab, and their children spoke half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Yehudi language, but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters to their sons, nor take their daughters for your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Shlomo, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, and he was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did foreign women cause to sin. Shall we then hearken to you, to do all this great evil, to trespass against our God in marrying foreign women? And one of the sons of Yoiada, the son of Eliashib, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat the Horoni. Therefore I chased him from me. Remember them, O my God, because they have defiled the priesthood, and the covenant of the priesthood, and of the Leviim. Thus I cleansed them from all foreigners, and appointed charges for the priests and for the Leviim, every one in his work, and for the wood offering at times appointed, and for the first fruits. Remember me, O my God, for good.